today's wealth principle, which is 51. 51 is learn to love solving problems for people who can get rich doing it. Awesome. Thank you for the heads up on the recording thing.
You have a certain amount of skills, you have a certain amount of connections that other people don't have. And even if you know people, you know things about them that other people don't know. And so the biggest place that I work from is curiosity. And I start working with curiosity to explore, to experience the other person and what they're really looking for, and then do little experiments by trying things, connecting people, giving them opportunities to see how they can work together. And a lot of times, some people say that every relationship is worth money and things like that. I don't take anything out of those. I think more about the goodwill that I'm creating by connecting people. And so when you're thinking about how to solve people's problems so you can get rich, forget about the money. That's on the backside of things. That's something that will come if you're doing it well. Just connect people. Think about what's in front of you. Explore what they're looking for. Talk to them about what they're really looking for, because like Walter said, 2 or 3 whys under, you get to a real answer. Well, I want money isn't a real answer. Why do you want the money? Why do you want that? And when you start digging deeper and deeper, you start to really understand what they're looking for. And this is what Steve Sims is really good at. And we have a couple of different people in this community that are Steve Sims level of blue fishing, so to speak. And so the idea that we got to get through our heads is remove the scarcity, think about the abundance, and how can you provide for other people what they don't have.
I love that. Let's give Dr. Terry Wager a round of applause. It's the truth. And when I say so you can get rich, I just want to emphasize this is your planning stage, right? You've got to start thinking about serving people so you can get rich. Now, when you're out there serving people, it's not about the money. Does that make sense? You're out there, just help people, just get the job done, do whatever it takes to serve them. But if you don't, like Mitch Jorsky's always saying, you got to organize and collect. If you don't set up a way, you don't organize a way for you to collect, you're just going to go out and do a lot of work. You've got to identify who to serve, who you're best fitted to serve, who you can serve to the maximum level, and a structure for them to pay you. You've got to have a way for them, an organized way for them to pay you. And a perfect example of the mentorship, I was getting checks in the mail because I was teaching people and coaching people for free, and people were sending me checks because I didn't have a way to pay, for them to pay me. They didn't even know how much to pay me. Some people were really overpaying. Does that make sense? Or at least that was my perception. I was like, damn, a little more than I expected, considering we just had a quick conversation. So we created a structure that made sense, that made it easy for somebody to be like, hey, you know what? I want to take this time of yours, so I will pay you money so I can get that. When we created that structure, it released pressure in the marketplace, and the market was able to flow in a direction. It was like having a dam up before. And a lot of investors, I'm not saying anybody in this room, but a lot of investors may have a wall up right now that's stopping money from flowing to you. That's blocking money because you haven't cut out the hole for it to flow through, a channel for it to flow through. Do you know why we set up dams? Dams are set up to generate electricity, right? If you didn't set up all the electricity generating systems behind it, the dam just holds back water. It's just pretty, right? That's no more than a fountain, right? So you don't want to just be pretty when you're out there serving people. You also want to be able to do it for the long term. Like with the mentorship, if I offered the mentorship for free, eventually I'd get burned out and I wouldn't have time to go and do it. But because it actually makes money, it's profitable, I'm able to hire other people. In fact, I've got a bunch of virtual assistants on the call right now. Let's give my VAs a round of applause. They do amazing. I have a bunch of people who can help support us to build the mission, to build courses, to invite people in, because it's profitable. Does that make sense? So of course you should be doing something you're passionate about. Of course. You should be doing something that's good and beneficial for the world. You should be serving people. Absolutely. But if it's not profitable, you won't be doing it for very long. Does that make sense? We're getting this. Yes, it must be profitable. But when you're out there talking to people, it's not about the money. Let's get the job done. All right. Mitch Jorsky, you're up.
Yes, sir. So, within everything you just said and Terry said, there's something that I kind of took away and is probably good for everyone else. And it's that make sure when you're doing this that you are basically kind of clear and it's uncomplicated because as Doug always says, a confused mind says no. And it's true. It's like, what problem are you solving? How are you solving it? And like, that's it. Don't make it any more complicated than that. Don't be like, oh, I also do this and this and this. It's like, no, this is your pain point. I know how to solve that problem. This is how we solve that problem. Get on board. Let's keep it moving. And by doing that, it's more efficient for both you and anyone that you serve. So it's something I try and keep in mind because I probably have a bad habit of overcomplicating things when just keep it simple, stupid, the KISS method. So something to keep in mind. And you are not wrong about the whole organizing and collect thing. Every week I'm trying to grow, and I feel like every week I have almost like a confession in terms of a lesson I've learned, right? So it doesn't matter how successful you are, you're continually growing. Like, what is that? To quote Shawshank Redemption, you get busy living or get busy dying, right? So you're basically growing that whole time. And you know, my accountant out of all people called me out. He's like, dude, your tagline is literally organize and collect. He's like, and all I do is watch you forget the collect part over and over and over. He's like, you just help people and connect people and do things and don't end up setting up the collect part. And I was like, well, not on everything. He's like, but on a lot of things. And I was just like, shit. It hit me like a ton of bricks. And so, if you're going to serve people, as Walter said, make sure you organize that and also have a method to collect. Because if you don't, you know what's going to happen? You're actually going to start becoming bitter because you're going to feel like people are just taking from you, taking from you, taking from you, and you're going to get drained. And um, life's not fun that way. So make sure you both organize and collect because serving people is an awesome thing, helping people is an awesome thing, but at the same time, your time is valuable and worth something as well. So you want to feel valued as well because if you don't, then you're not going to feel motivated to help as many people. So that's my 2 cents.
Let's give Mitch Jorsky a round of applause. The crypto cat. Awesome. Doug McGurk, you're up.
Thank you. So brilliant as always. And I want to also point out some of the two things that both Terry and Mitch brought to the table as well, and of course Walter's been hitting on it this whole time, is the relationship with this energy and the state that you are in. So if you heard Terry, he said, I approach everything with a state of curiosity, not desperation, not fear, not anxiety, not, thinking, oh, what if they say no, but genuine curiosity about what that person is. So fall in love with also not just solving people's problems, but just people. Just asking, just get curious. And to Mitch's point, I've had moments like that as well, where I have tons of relationship capital, but haven't utilized it. So again, it's one of those things. It's okay to also ask, but the challenge is that this is where we want to get into that mindset of givers gain, right? So just be in that mindset of adding value. And to Walter's point, and Terry as well, is about making those connections. That's fun. Like to actually go to a networking event and don't talk about yourself at all. Try it. Now, you will at one point. I'm saying start with this because what does most people do? They'll say, oh, what do you do? And then you tell them. Well, don't. Say, this is what I say. I say, enough about me. Tell me about you. And then I learn who they are, what they're looking for, and then start immediately connecting them. Like immediately at the networking event, like right there, go, I got somebody for you, and text them. Like make that connection right there so that what'll happen is, and this is now it's going back into, like, and you'll learn this at Masters of Influence, is law of reciprocity. What happens is when you share, when you do give to somebody, what is that person automatically going to instinctually want to do? Give back. They're going to want to reciprocate. So think in those terms. Think about your relationship with the action of meeting people and learning about them, not about solving their problems exclusively, because that may be a block for you. You may go, I don't know how to solve those problems. Think in terms of, who could I connect them with? Who do I know in my resource? Because I'm not going to solve everyone's problems. I may be able to have a resource to help solve their problems. But brilliant as always. Love you guys. Great job. All right. And we'll see you at Master of Influence.
Let's give Doug McGurk a round of applause. I'm so glad you remembered to mention Master of Influence. I have no idea how I didn't say something earlier. So that event is for people who are looking to increase conversion, increase the amount of success that they get in every conversation that they do at all times by getting your mind right and getting you the right frames, giving you the right strategies and the right mental tools, so that you wake up with confidence, you stop procrastination, and you're more motivated every day. Hence the camera, if we could all use that, if that's something true, we could all use a little bit of that. So Master of Influence, Darina did do a price reduction. We'll call it a value deal, something along those lines, because we hit our target number for people in the event. And so she was able to make a better deal for everybody going forward. Is that something you'd be interested in? Find out what the price is. Excellent. And by the way, let's give everybody who signed up for Mastery a round of applause, because if it wasn't for you, ladies and gentlemen, this deal wouldn't be available for other people. So right now, the previous price of this event was $5,000, which for many people seems like a chunk. And Darina then reduced it to $3,500 because we hit our target. And we had a final price reduction, final opportunity price. I don't know how to say it, right? I have one word I'm not allowed to say, and I'm just like dancing around that word.
Yeah, don't say it.
Yeah, I almost.
No.
And now the new opportunity offering is $2,000 for a 3-day event. We learn NLP, learn hypnosis, and you'll learn how to use it on social media. So I'll be actually teaching the social media piece. Who's seen me go from 1,500 followers to 8,000 followers over the last 3 months? Has anybody caught that? Yo, so you are paying attention. Excellent. That's from using NLP in my social media, from setting myself up correctly so I'm in the right frame and I understand what my audience is looking for, and then putting it out consistently. That consistency comes from NLP, comes from setting those frames, those models. So it's definitely a powerful tool if anybody's looking to increase the amount of influence they have, increase the amount of income they have. By the way, I get a lot more likes, comments, and shares. That's true. But I also get a lot more people asking me for my services, asking me for my lending services, asking me for my deal services, for my agency services, for mentorship. There's a lot more opportunities because there's a lot more people who know about Gualter Murillo. Does that make sense? Wouldn't that be nice if that happened for you as well? Man, it doesn't stop there. It just keeps going. So Master of Influence, be there, be square. That's February 4th to the 6th. It is coming up. Time to book your hotels, time to book your flights. And if you haven't already paid for the ticket, time to have a conversation with Darina. Darina, can you drop your link? You already did. All right. No, that's my link. So, oh yeah, I can take the calls. All right. If you want to go to Master of Influence, drop my link. I'll have that conversation also. That's cool. Darina is traveling this week, so I'm picking up the slack. Let's see. Who else do I have? Who did I not call on? The great Michael Shine. You're up.
All right, Walter. So since I've been in this community, I've been able to meet with a lot of very successful people because of connections. I mean, first of all, Doug knows everybody. It's just amazing. And he knows Bob Berg, who's the Go Giver, which is a great, great book. We do a mastermind with Ken Walls, and Ken also knows a billionaire that Walter and I get to speak to by the name of Rami. And what I noticed from all of those people is that they give. That's what they do. They look to find a way. Even Ken Walls was talking to me. I was in a Walmart. I'm like, oh my God, Ken Walls is talking to me. This is the craziest shit ever. And he was asking me, what can I do for you And so it just reminded me of the Jim Rohn quote. So I just want to read it. You can have everything you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want out of life. So that's really what this all means to me, is that if you spend your time not focusing on what you can get out of things, but how you can help other people, then you'll end up getting everything you want anyway. So that's what I got.
Let's give Michael Stein a round of applause. That is the truth. And since you brought it up, I forgot that I interviewed Bob Berg. So I interviewed Bob Berg on the podcast, episode 135. So definitely go check it out. If you haven't already given a positive review for Alchemist Nation on iTunes, please, I'm just asking, with two hands saying, please, positive review only. Thank you very much. Give yourselves a round of applause for showing up. I do want to open it up to questions for everybody who is